Ladies and gents, welcome to Six Figs. I'm Kyle, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about all the hottest crypto news, everything from Definity, Internet Computer, to the ecosystem and the charts. So let's dive right into this. The one and only, folks, Dominic Williams is going to be at Davos 2024, January 17th, taking the center stage. Woo! And guess what? Davos 2024, around this time, there are a lot of huge financial institutions in Davos as we speak for the WEEF convention. So the thing is that there is a Davos 2024 blockchain conference that is going down, and there are a lot of people that are going to be there. Really, when it comes down to it, you're going to see T-Mobile, Telecom Liechtenstein, Casper Labs, Ethereum Foundation, Inacta Ventures, Solana, Casper, of course, Definity, Inacta Ventures again. So there's going to be people from Ledger, all sorts of stuff there. So this should be a good panel, and I believe this is in Zurich, Switzerland. So it's very interesting to say the least. Now, there is a notable reduction in ICP dissolving off the NNS. Why is this happening, folks? Well, it's because the Internet Computer is absolutely shooting off like a rocket, and we'll cover that on the charts. But basically, you'll see more people staking their ICP during the bearish conditions, during the bearish markets. But once the bullish sentiment starts rolling around, you want that ICP available for you to basically sell the top or try to sell the top. Now, it doesn't do you any good if you got your ICP locked up for a couple of years and you're here to make money this bull market. So I do think that within the next, 3 to 6 months, hopefully ICP is seeing some higher price action, but we are seeing this constant steady decline as people get more bullish and bullish. So it'll be interesting to see what happens if this trend changes. This was very interesting, folks. Anthony Scaramucci says $12 trillion Bitcoin market cap incoming. And this was very interesting because he goes on to talk about the gold aspect and how World Gold Council estimates that the amount of yellow metal mined throughout history is approximately 209 million tons, valued at around $12 trillion. Bitcoin's current market cap stands nearly at 900 mil, we'll just call that. So the thing about having Bitcoin is that it takes like hardly any energy to mine it. Like in the grand scheme of things, you know how much energy was wasted for this 209 million tons of gold? Gasoline, the destruction of the environments, it's just crazy. It's probably done $12 trillion worth of damage to the environment. Bitcoin, I can guarantee you, has not done anywhere near that. And really, it's only a 10, 12x from here to get to 12 trillion. So I tend to agree with Anthony Scaramucci on this, but I do think that it's going to be maybe a decade or two before we start seeing those levels. Crypto T, since this is kind of like on the gold subject, she dropped a pretty decent post. When the gold ETF got approved, new production of gold doubled. All the gold miners rushed out to find more new gold to sell. Increase in the supply means lower price. You can't make more Bitcoin, and the supply will be cut in half in 90 days. So this is very interesting stuff here because here we have what I presume is the Bitcoin chart, possibly. It does look a bit different from this, but here we are. And you can see that when the gold ETF was introduced, this thing ran up, over time. So this is going to be interesting to say the least. I don't know, guys. I don't know. Fran.icp. Fran, go follow this guy, at Fran Hefner. This isn't the first time I've spotted something that he has dropped on Twitter, and it's just this little gem. So he alerted everybody that the Binance hot wallet had 500,000. Binance needs to recharge the hot wallet. Otherwise, ICP withdrawals may temporarily be paused at any time. So there's 145,000, we'll just call it, transferred from Binance to this hot wallet. So we'll see what happens with this. I checked this today, and it was still at like the same number. So there hasn't been any changes, but it's good to know when we start to see that stuff really reduce in supply, especially like the amount of tokens these exchanges have on hand. Economist Alex Kruger, like Freddy Krueger, he's sounding like Freddy Krueger, folks, in this article, the way he's talking. Economist Freddy Krueger warns that Bitcoin upside is clearly capped. Says it's time for Ethereum to take over. On the heels of the Bitcoin ETF, he's saying this. Okay, I don't agree with this at all. Like, at all. I don't believe that it's capped. I don't believe that it's going to be the top, but, I don't think that we're going to see, Ethereum has been running just as bad as Bitcoin. Let's look at the top 100 here. Top 100, it's just a sea of red, but somehow Sam Bankman-Fried's coin is just blasting through everybody. Look at that. I don't even see ICP on this chart, but ICP has been taking a very nasty beating the last day or two. We are now below Shiba Inu again at a $5.679 billion market cap. Still top 20, that's pretty decent. Still 6,300 transactions per second right now. Let's see how many Bitcoin are in control of the internet computer. We got 183 Bitcoin in control of, or basically under the control of the internet computer. And you can see how this number is just absolutely rising. So this is great to see. People are starting to trust the internet computer and chain key technology. Let's check out the ETH. Not so much. Looks like ETH people were messing around with it, and it is what it is. But with that said, I just want to see what we're sitting at for, circulating supply, 455 million. We are still seeing, 376,000 smart contracts. This metric just keeps climbing and climbing. This thing, I try to cover this thing, and you guys can see in the last, let's see here. What is it? We'll just go the last 2 years. We have seen an increase in smart contracts roughly from 26,000 to 376,000. That is absolutely incredible. So it is what it is. Right now, I am kind of tracking ICP, folks. I'm looking at this at a 4-hour scale. There was this really wild symmetrical triangle squeeze. We almost had a little bit of an ascending triangle going at the same time, but that kind of fell through. So I do think that we might see price kind of wander maybe down to this $11.78 level. You could see this thing wick $11.50 or something like that as well. If things get really bad and we start to see ICP drift down even more, do something like this, we could see, this sub $11.50 level, and we could see this thing test this lower trend line. On a grander scale, we can see, I'm just going to get rid of some of this stuff so it's not as big of an eyesore to look at. But what we can see is that there is a trend line here. So it wouldn't surprise me if ICP came back down to this $11.50 level, to say the least. This seems like one of those levels. Right now, ICP is testing this level of support and resistance, in my opinion. We can see ICP came up here, clearly got rejected, blew right past it. We suffered again, couldn't hold that support. So now I think that price action could be coming down to check like this $11.72 level in the grand scheme of things. And like I said, if we fall from there, watch out for some of those other prices. But ideally, what I'd like to see is this thing really start taking off again and retest those $16-ish levels. But there is a lot, folks, to be kind of bearish about right now, and I'm going to talk about this in just a second. Two of the biggest snakes in the grass that you could ever imagine got together today on NBC. One of them's name is Andrew Ross Sorkin. I believe this man here was paid by Sam Bankman-Fried and all these other bad actors to promote lots of FUD around the Internet Computer launch. The other one is Gary Gensler. Oh, man, Gary Gensler is a pussy. Here he has said that, Bitcoin, in this video, he goes on to say that Bitcoin is only used for illegal activities. But he also voted yes to approve the Bitcoin ETF. 3 out of 5 of the SEC chair people basically voted yes. Gary could have easily voted no and denied it. So I find this very interesting. And this, of course, if you are Wall Street, you want these guys on your side. You want them deep into your pockets. And really what this does is they will plant the narrative in people's minds out there that, you know what, Bitcoin's bad, so they can accumulate as much as possible. And that's going to be the narrative until they're ready to pump their bags. It just is what it is, folks. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Check out the end screen for William Laurent singing along the ICP song. We'll catch you guys all in the next video. Peace.